No score after 20 minutes between the Beacons and the Owls here on Flow College. Thanks so much for making us a part of your Saturday afternoon. UMass Boston and Keene State, second of a two-game series. The Beacons won 4-0 last night. This one started very even, and it was a much better start from the Owls. And then the Beacons grew into things and really controlled the end of the period.
I certainly like the way Keene State started. It felt like they had a little bit to prove, but I think Beacons recognized that, and you saw the second half of the period. I mean, the very last 5 minutes or so, there were 2 or 3 pucks that were bouncing around the goal line, and Chung had to come up with a really big save. So it could easily be a Beacon lead right now. With the second period about to start here, I think for me, it's more of picking up where you left off, trying to get that lead. And we talked a lot about this yesterday. This team is built to play from the front, right? They don't want to play catch-up. Even a team like Keene State that seems to struggle offensively as well. Now 4 periods in, still no goals on the board. This Beacons club really just overall defends better when they have the lead. And so I'm going to try to see with what we saw at the end of that first period if it carries over here to start the second.
Beacons had 17 shots in the first period. 7 of them came from the line that's on the ice right now. Beacons' top line of Shea Nolan, Maggie Lynch, and Grace Lynch generated plenty of opportunities. Couldn't capitalize. 6 shots on goal for the Owls in that first period. Beacons won 10 of the 15 faceoffs and felt like at the end of that period, they were winning just about every faceoff. Allowed them to stay on the front foot. Nolan digs it out. Second period underway as we await the opening of the scoring. Cadence Kelly came off worse for the wear.
Checking call.
We're going to get a penalty here against the Owls.
Tabby Jones is going to sit for a check. We saw a lot of checking calls yesterday. Might be a point of emphasis for this referee group. The women's game is always interesting to me because it really does depend on the group. I've seen referees wear blatant checks and they let it go. And then other groups that are pretty strict. So something to take note of.
Beacons to the power play for the first time today. Boyd a drive. Chung saves with Nolan screening in front. This top line had a 20-second shift, and so you're not worried about giving them a break and putting the second unit out there. They can just go right to work here on the power play. Comes right up to Maggie Lynch. Shot saved by Chung. Rebound there for Boyd. Swings it in front. Another save by Chung, but Boyd keeps the zone. Sent back below the net. Lynch will chase. And the Beacons can set back up. Lynch digs through 2. Stick save by Chung. Up top, Boyd. Pass across, Grace Lynch to Nolan, deflected, and a big save by Chung.
Again on that backhand, if that gets the forehand, good chance of going in. Second time Beacons have had a cross-ice pass with the receiver on the backside.
Cleared out, but only to the neutral zone. That is a very dangerous pass there from Mia Boyd. The Beacons are lucky they didn't have too many on the ice.
Yeah, that's one you might want to just hold for an extra second or two.
They're trying to take advantage of the fact that the Owls couldn't get their change, but nearly caused a bench minor. 45 seconds left on the power play. Morrison skates a circle, pulls it back up top. Hand off to Skrelly, back up top. Cassidy Morrison from straight away, deflected, and they score! It was Morrison's shot from the point. Hansen tipped it home. And just like last night, Emily Hansen starts the scoring, 1-0 Beacons.
Well, Morrison just has a ton of space here. She can pick where she wants to go with this puck, but what I love most, the cross is kind of a flash screen from Hansen. And she's just takes a little bit of ice right in front, able to establish herself, gets a little bit of composite on it, the graphite. Chung didn't know where it was. The only one who did was Hansen. It was in the back of the net. Beacons with a 1-0 lead.
5th of the year for Emily Hansen. Power play goal for the Beacons 2 nights in a row with a power play tally, which has to feel good for a group that has had their struggles while a player up so far this year.
it's evident to me that the Beacons just going back to what worked yesterday with shot volume. And you saw it on that power play. They really weren't trying to set up anything in particular, just trying to give themselves a pretty good shooting lane. And once they had it established, just let it rip. And you saw there the redirect, able to beat Chung. Already 23 shots on goal here early in the second.
It's hard on Chung, who just on that power play stopped, it looked like 3 goals from going in. And the unimpeded screen in front, nothing you can do about that. Thrown back in by the Owls, 3 minutes off the clock here in period number 2. Hansen's goal has the Beacons on top if you tuned in to the second period a bit late. Assists on the goal to Cassidy Morrison and Gianna Skrelly. Cripaldi blows a tire. Owls had an opportunity to break, but I don't think realized they could have rushed in 3-on-1. Far side. Shot stayed stuck to the ice, deflected in front, and off target. Taken away by McFadden, all the way up ice. Nice deke and a good save by Chung.
Nice move from 25. Give herself a better look. It's just a little bit of a head fake. Got the Owl to bite. Chung was wise to it. Was able to get the blocker on it.
McFadden takes it in stride. Swings in front. Chung saves. Rebound was in the air. Fitzsimons couldn't bat it down.
Yeah, I have to think that stick was taken. I think Wiseman, I'm going to guess. I saw 26 on the number. I think it was Wiseman was able to get Fitzsimons' stick. She was looking for that rebound.
Beacons are getting their opportunities. Top line was offside just a moment ago. Good. Below her own net. Bounced out dangerously, but there was no one home there for the Beacons. Back below the cage for Nolan. Spins off a defender. Kicked around and dug free by Grace Lynch. Nice backhand pass to Skrelly, who had her shot blocked, and it comes out of the zone. Beacons can reload here. Owls wanted a change. Woods goes cross ice. Hansen will chase in the corner. Nice stretch pass, finds the stick of Jones. Too strong for Ian Tosca, who tracks it down at the second attempt. (25-6) in shot counter in favor of the Beacons so far. Morrison tips it forward. Owls trying to reload, come back in. Finke into the battle with Ondrick, who digs it away from her. Eventually taken here by Hansen. Beacons can't break out. Turned over to Finke in a dangerous spot. She gets by one. There's a penalty here against the Beacons. And as Finke danced through a couple of defenders, she draws a hook, and the Owls are going to the power play.
Yeah, you know, I thought pretty good defending there. Take a look at the replay, maybe a little bit of a hook. Morrison's going to go. Referee was on top of it. Hooking call is made. Chance for these Owls to tie things up with 14:03 in the second.
First look on the power play for Keene State today. Yesterday, they were a net -5 on the power play. The Beacons had a shorthanded goal against them. Boyd can't clear. Held in, shot blocked by Briggs. Comes back across, drag shot blocked. Cripaldi got down to a knee. As Spinelli tried to load one up. Swings through the crease, no one home. Driving through Jones, blocked and cleared.
Beacon's doing well to pack the house. That slot area is going to be available for these Owls. I mean, I saw all 4 skaters in a tight box, just keeping everything to the outside. You saw a couple blocks there, and then the eventual clear. Owls are going to have to try to find something either laterally east to west or try to get a shot through and maybe on a redirect.
Cripaldi clears it out, but only to neutral ice. Long change here in the second makes defending the power play pretty tough. Fitzsimons pokes it free, taken by Ian Tosca.
I was going to say, Mike, we saw this yesterday where the Owls struggled a little bit on the breakout. Now, once they were in zone, they were okay, but getting that puck in is where they struggled.
Below the cage, comes up top to Patrick, who fanned on the one-timer. Fitzsimons had it pinned for a moment, but it was taken away, and the Owls send it out of their own zone. Beacons will change a couple skaters. Patrick, pass deflected by Skrelly, who's the furthest Beacon forward, and getting some good pressure. 10 seconds left on this Owls power play that has generated 1 shot on goal. And the Beacons can slow down and break this one out. They'll clear it. Penalty expires. Poked free, and Grace Lynch takes it in stride. Lynch with 8 minutes off the clock here in period number 2 gets taken down. Nothing from that.
Surprising. That looks pretty obvious to me. What do you think, Mike?
Had a defender all over her and taken down from behind. I was expecting to see an arm up. Kelly finds Lynch, goes to the far corner. And off for the change as Nolan chases and takes the puck free. Pass blocked out to neutral ice. Track down below the net. Alexander into a battle with DeMeo. It's taken away. Owls come in through Ian Tosca, who gets by one defender but couldn't get by Mia Boyd. Breakout pass finds Morrison, who gets by the defender. Beacons break in, but coming back to make the play after being beaten was Kensley Good. And Hadamovsky will cover up.
Well, good on her not giving up on the play, because Morrison had her beat toasted on the first one. The hard part about that is if you don't have the foot speed, right, you know you're going to need one more in order to get any type of shot off. And so Good knows that as well. Knows she's beat but can recover if she gets back in time. Sure enough, she did.
Face-off win comes up top. Stick save, Hadamovsky. Kicked out of the zone by Kelch. Show pressure. Woods will toss far side. Skrelly chasing, nice stick lift, able to poke it free. No one home in the high slot. McFadden tracks it down. Hand off to Fitzsimons, who shoots into a body. And it's poked free by Edmonds.
This Beacon forecheck is really making life difficult for these Owls. Still offside here. They've created a couple turnovers just based on the tenacity at which they're attacking. Here's another rush.
Beacons have an opportunity. Briggs. Drop pass to Hayes. Shot stuck to the ice, and Chung made the stop.
The tempo of this Beacons club has picked up. First period, I thought they had another gear they could reach to. Now, part of that was the fact Keene State also upped their game, what we saw yesterday, but I think you're seeing more of what we saw yesterday. This team playing a little bit faster, and the Owls having a tough time keeping up.
Hayes' pass was behind Briggs. 9 minutes to go here in period number 2. Finke drop pass looking for Ian Tosca. It's taken away. Briggs, long shift for her. She'll dump and change. Turned over. Lynch picks it off, throws in front, and misfires. Comes up top for Kelly to blast, and Chung sticks it away. It was off target. Dug free below the net. Lynch pokes in front. Chung wise to it. Beacon's keeping the pressure up. Faison looking for a way out. It eventually falls to the stick of Ian Tosca. And gets denied entry by Kelly. Taken away far side. Loose puck below the net. Nolan tracks it down. Spins away from her defender once again. Lynch can't clear. Ian Tosca to the far circle. Banks up top for Edmonds. Shoots into the body of Nolan, who can't clear out. Edmonds with the stick. And eventually Morrison gets it free and gains the line. And Morrison keeps going. Denied finally by Edmonds after beating a couple defenders. 1-0 Beacons on the goal by Emily Hansen, who tracks down the puck along the wall. In front for Alexander, who couldn't get the tip. Up top, Woods couldn't bring it under control, and it comes back out to the neutral zone. Taken in stride by Kelsch, who can fly. Kelsch nearly knocked down. Shot saved Chung.
It's fun watching 9 when she can get a little bit of a lane. It doesn't take much for her to get to the top gear. I mean, 2 strides, you can see that puck was 50-50 initially. She got a little bit of a touch on it, and then a snap of a finger, she was gone. And Al wasn't even close. And her ability to accelerate is really bar none.
She got disrupted a bit on the way through and managed to keep her feet and create that look. The 27th shot on goal for the Beacons. One-time shot from Ondrick, and Chung down to it with the pad. Fitzsimons spins away from the check, into the circles, throws in front. Couldn't connect with McFadden. Taken in by Wiseman. Ondrick tracks down, 6:15 to go here in the second period. Kelsch couldn't escape the check. This goes down for icing with 6:09 to go.
Well, a good moment here for Keene State. You got some tired Beacons here taking their time getting back. Keene State not going to make a change. Let's see if, yeah, he's going to use it. And we saw this. Coach Lund is not one to save the timeout. If he sees an opportunity early in the hockey game, he takes it. We saw this yesterday when he didn't like the way his team was playing after scoring. And here he has a situation where he's got some tired players on the ice. A 1-0 lead. You know points are at a premium, right, based on yesterday and today. So why not use it? And I like that. You know, again, we mentioned this yesterday on air. There's this overwhelming sense to save it because you might need it late in the third period, and that is true. But I think you don't know what the future holds.
You might not need it.
Exactly. So now you kind of do need it. So use it, right? I know I need it now. Let's use it while I know I need it and not have to guess what the future might look like.
And so it allows the Beacons to get their top line on the ice after this timeout, and you could really tell the tired legs of that UMass second line when Kelsch, there was an opportunity to take the puck in stride along the wall, and she just didn't have the energy for it.
Yeah, you're out of juice.
And you see that as a coach and think, do I want that line taking another shift right now?
No, it's a good use. I like it. It worked yesterday. See if it pays off again today.
Both top lines on the ice after the Beacons timeout. Face off one up top by the Owls. Swung in front, big stick save by Adamovsky. Ian Tosca, I think, got a tip on the point shot from D'Souza. Dug free by Boyd. Connects with Lynch, but good defending. D'Souza again disrupts the play.
It's a breakaway otherwise. That was all they had left. There were two Beacons. It was both Nolan and the other Lynch who were looking for Maggie Lynch to slide that over. And you could see her reaction. She knew it too. If she can get that just underneath the defenseman's stick, it's definitely a breakaway, maybe a 2-on-0. Wasn't to be had.
5:44 to go here in the second. Faceoff was tied up for a while, and now the pass finds Maggie Lynch. 2-on-1 for the Beacons. Lynch driving through across. Grace Lynch couldn't hit the mark. Tried to slide it in at the bottom corner and missed the net.
Well, you can't throw better sauce than that. Maggie Lynch, that was perfect. Elevated just over the D stick, landed flat on the ice for her winger, the other Lynch, and just sent it wide. But great pass from two.
Beacons hold the zone. Ondrick hands off to Briggs, who slaps one from the circle. Couldn't get all the way through. Brooks goes up top. Ondrick, she'll slap another, and it goes over the cage. That puck was on an edge. Skrelly digs it free, and it's kicked to the corner for good. Beacons force the turnover. Case holding, banks it back, and it's taken by Patrick for the Owls.
Advantage Beacons here, and they're not going to be able to hold it. Second time where they've been able to complete a change in the offensive zone. They just need to maintain possession. Let's see, second period, long change for the Owls.
Alexander forced the turnover. Hansen, pass was behind Morrison. But the Beacons can keep up the pressure here. Comes back to neutral ice. Boyd will toss it in. And Beacons have to tag up. A couple players can change, but not all of them. Hansen spins along the wall, taken by Wiseman. Dug free by Morrison for the Beacons. Hansen to Alexander. She'll get a change. Comes back to Crepaldi, who just throws it right back in.
There are some tired Owls on the ice right now. They need a change desperately.
Beacons take over through McFadden, had it slip away from her. Couldn't keep it under control, but a fresh unit of Beacons on the ice at the moment. Kelsch gets away from the circle, up to McFadden, a blast, and Chung saves.
Pretty good look off the wall. Hansen all alone. She tries to one-time it here. Good save by Chung. Well, that does give the Owls a whistle, and they'll be able to complete the change. 3:15 rather. Still in the second period, 1-0 Beacons.
Face off one once again by the Beacons. Skrelly takes it below the net. Big circle, handoff to McFadden. Taken by DeMeo. Fitzsimon's pressuring. Keeps the puck alive in the offensive zone. Chung will cover that one. And a lot of extracurriculars. D'Souza took an extra whack at McFadden, who returned the favor.
Yeah, probably some frustration. You know, they spent a lot of time defending now for Keene State. The end of the first period and really most of the second here, and it's still only 8 shots on goal. And I think you're starting to feel frustrated. You combine yesterday not having scored, and you know, that does start to boil over. I don't care how disciplined you are mentally. Eventually, you get to a point where you just had enough.
Ondrick prevents that from bringing a breakaway. Now 4-on-2 for the Beacons. She had her pass blocked. Hand off below the net to Lynch. Throws in front. Maggie Lynch digging for it. And taken away by Bazin. Crepaldi keeps the zone and keeps the zone a second time. And keeps the zone a third time. Dug free by Grace Lynch. Trying to drag past two. Nolan comes up with it. Pass deflected right in front of the Beacons bench. Finke takes it in stride. Taken away by Lynch. Now Grace Lynch picks it up. Pass up ahead for Briggs. Just too strong for her and poked away by Chung.
Just slid underneath. It was a breakaway otherwise.
Now the Owls come up the other way. Drop to Spinelli, who takes it along the wall and spins it around.
Again, nice two passes from the non-Lynch twins. Started with Maggie. We found Grace, and then Grace just trying to connect with Briggs, just slid right underneath.
Hayes banks ahead for Brooks to chase. Into a battle with DeMeo, and Brooks kicks it around toward the Beacons bench. Thrown in front. Boy, Patrick had a good look. I think Ondrick helped disrupt.
Yeah, a little bit of stick work there.
There were 6 Owls on the ice, but no call coming from that, and it's thrown down with a minute to play. Comes off glass, and Ondrick will collect for the Beacons. Alexander. He's behind. Ondrick finds the breakout pass to Hansen. Beacons into the zone. Hansen drops to Morrison, looking back. Hansen digging for it, and Chung has to stick it away. Hansen to Souza, pinned right below the net. Eventually dug free, now taken to the corner. The Owls want to get this to the room. 12 seconds to play here in the second. Hansen takes it away. Dug free, thrown ahead, too strong for Norman. Boyd will get there first and prevent a chance in the final seconds. And the second period comes to a close. Well, a lot of Beacons pressure. They got an early power play goal from Emily Hansen in that second period, and then kept the momentum up. And it stays at 1-0 after 40 minutes.
Yeah, I kind of feel like today is a lot like yesterday. You know, Beacons continuing to do all the things that you want to see. Board battles, possession, transition hockey, all those little things that try to lead you to a victory. A little more trouble scoring today. Only up 1-0 after 2. Still, you know, a mistake or two away from the Owls tying this thing up. But again, offensively, this Keene State team just struggles to really generate anything of high value. Adamovsky, 11 shots on goal. Really hasn't only been, I don't know if she was tested really at all in that second period. So that's an area where Keene State's looking to try to find something here. But so far, still only 1-0, but it's been all Beacons.
Shots 30-11 in favor of UMass. We'll step aside up here. Beacons 1, Owls 0. We'll have stats in the third period for you when we come back.